like this. If you can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Definition of a Woman.
There's levels to this shit.
We are your hosts. I'm Nadia.
Michelle.
Danielle. So thank you all for joining us today. What we want to do is start with a quick check-in, right?
Yeah.
See how everybody's doing. What's going on? What's been up with y'all?
You know, new hair. Who this?
Okay.
All day. You know I posted that on IG all day.
I already
double
seen
tap.
it.
It's where you posted
beautiful.
it.
It was very nice.
Thanks, girl. That is so true. New hair. Who this? It's just me. You know, it's just Nadia. No big deal. Hair flip. But what y'all been up to?
I just came back from a trip. I've been gone for a week. A whole week from my husband and the babies.
Oh,
Wait a minute. That part I did not know.
I did
you,
not.
Nadia?
No, I did not.
Oh my goodness.
All by myself.
I know you were waiting for me to chime in.
I
We
was.
already established you can't sing a song by yourself.
I needed the
Okay.
background. Yeah, it was just me. For the whole week, it was a lot going on. I went for a conference.
Okay.
And so that was interesting. It was interesting because, you know, I had to do a lot of social things.
That
Yes.
is very interesting.
A lot of
Mixing
networking.
and mingling.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's not my jam, and it was 4 days. The conference was 4 days.
Okay.
I will say the last day I couldn't do it.
Really?
I didn't go.
Yeah, you could only take so much.
I could
social
only
interaction,
take. By the
so.
third day, I got in the car, and the lady was like, "You seem distant."
Ma'am, you
And
don't know much about
I'm
me.
gonna need you not to talk to me.
I was like, I'm just tired of talking to people.
Yeah,
Right.
I was about to say something doesn't sound right.
Your ass.
I'm
Okay.
talking to people. But it was good. I had a good time, and it was a good break from my family, who I love very much.
Right.
But I always
Well, we all need that break.
I
so
love that little disclaimer in there.
I love it. Perfect.
Danielle, what you been up to?
Well, last week the baby and I had a really, really nice mommy and me photo shoot.
Ooh, I can't wait to
I
see
know.
It
I'm
was
excited.
very cute. I love it. The first outfit was a no-go. Shirley, which is my mom, everyone.
I love Miss Shirley.
I call her Cheryl. Cheryl, I put on the baby's dress. She said, she gonna wear that? I was like, yeah. She's like, no, that is not cute. So she made me change the whole outfit. Thank God I got these like matching mommy, like mama and Minnie sweatshirts.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh my gosh, it turned out so much better.
I'm gonna have to get
But
her a TTME shirt. So.
you are
Yes.
when you
That's
show up
mind
to
your
be
business.
TT.
Oh.
Anyways,
Burn.
Go ahead and introduce the topic.
Moving on.
Speaking of that, right, we wanted to kind of expand on last week's discussion, which was about self-awareness, taking that 16 personalities test, and just really getting to know not only ourselves, which is really important, but also our friends, our family. So we all took it. We found out what our dominant traits were, and we're going to elaborate on the relationship portion of that personality trait. If you have not taken the 16 personalities test, I encourage you to go on there and take it. You will be astonished, right? That was a good word.
That was a good one.
You drew me in with it as if I didn't take it, but
I'm
I
like,
did take
ooh,
it.
I take
I was
it.
thinking that I should take this, but I'm like, wait, you already did it.
I did learn a lot. I was astonished.
Right. The results are so on point. You'll be like, who this is? Like, that knows me so well. But let's start with, who do we start with? Michelle.
We're going to start with the definition.
Yeah,
so
let's
we
start
like
with the
to go into
definitions.
the definition. So
Okay, let's do that.
remember, we go into the definition of the Webster definition, and then we also love our good old Urban Dictionary
Yes.
definition.
That one is good.
So for the Webster one is conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. And you know we like to come with a sentence. So
Please.
the process can be painful, but it leads to greater self-awareness.
That's good.
Yeah, I like
Good
that.
stuff.
I like that sentence. So this is the Urban Dictionary version.
I can't wait.
It's real woke.
Is it?
It's real
Let me
like
open up.
third eye-ish.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Not right here.
Right right there, smack dab in the middle. The state of being in which one's participation, can't talk, in their consciousness is no longer passive but active, where one does not see with the eye but through it.
Oh, that was good. Now,
Wait a
tell
minute,
me
what
how
is
the
the
last
snap?
one was personality, and it's like her
Never
butt
know
is big. That's somebody. She has a nice personality, but then this one they got really
They
deep.
did.
Never
They
You
know.
was
know,
like,
they got all the sides.
exactly.
Yes.
They said we're gonna touch on the fact that it's included with self.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
so
Get it
I'm
either
gonna make
way.
it deep for them.
So in this sentence, the example is, in self-awareness, it is not the I that sees, but the I. that
Okay.
Ooh, I love it.
Watch me,
They're on point.
copy
The
and
Urban
pasting.
Dictionary's on point with that
Watch
one.
me do a copy and paste and put it on
Yeah.
social media.
If you see that,
If you see the caption,
definition of a
right.
woman,
Yeah.
Okay, we might have a little pride.
Right.
That's how we know if you listening
Exactly.
or not. Okay. So we're gonna dig a little bit deeper into our personality tests and how they directly affect relationships, whether they be your friendships or romantic relationships. So we're going to go through and we're all going to remind you what our personality type was, but also what our dominant traits were. So I'm going to start off. Mine was an architect. If you want to get more information about what that means and how I felt like it really was me, make sure you go back and listen to the first episode. My 5 dominant traits are, the first one is mine, so I'm introverted. Individuals who prefer solitary activities and get exhausted by, go back to my week,
I was about to
get
say
exhausted
Yes.
by social interaction. They tend to be quite sensitive to external stimulation.
Yeah.
Energy is the second one. Mine was intuitive. Intuitive individuals are very imaginative, open-minded, and curious. They prefer novelty over stability and focus on hidden meanings and future possibilities. Nature is thinking. Mine is thinking. The other one is feeling. I don't know if I told y'all that. The other opposite of intuitive was observant, and the opposite of introverted was extroverted. Sorry, I didn't say that. So what was I on thinking?
Yeah.
Thinking individuals focus on objectivity and rationality, prioritizing logic over emotions. They tend to hide their feelings and see efficiency as more important than cooperation. We'll talk about that later.
I think we probably should.
Judging. So judging or prospecting. I got judging.
And we know that.
I was gonna say
That.
very much a judge.
Wow. Just a reminder. I mean, this is recapping for me from last episode.
Yeah.
So
Judging individuals are decisive, thorough, and highly organized. They value clarity, predictability, and closure, preferring structure and planning to spontaneity. I'm not very spontaneous. It's not. I mean, it's my jam, but it's not natural. It's not natural.
Right.
The last one is assertive or turbulent. I got turbulent. This one was super close for me, but turbulent individuals are self-conscious and sensitive to stress. They are likely to experience a wide range of emotions and to be success-driven, perfectionistic, and eager to improve.
so funny because I'm just gonna just chime in with yours just so we can kind of but in my type, I'm the campaigner, but I'm like the turbulent campaigner. So that works so well with me because when you read that, I'm like,
Yep.
Spoke
pretty emotional.
to you.
It hit me heavy. But my traits again, my dominant traits is extroverted. So I'm different from y'all. I was 61% there. I'm intuitive, feeling, prospecting, and turbulent, of course. At the end, what was your what was your role?
Yeah.
Your role.
My analyst.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mine was diplomat. And then what was your strategy? Is your strategy?
Your
up there?
role is diplomat.
So
is mine.
I know. I remember.
I
yeah.
don't remember our roles being the same for some reason. Okay.
You don't know your
What was your
strategy?
strategy?
Social engagement. Remember we talked about that?
I don't remember what my strategy was, but it was not
Oh,
that.
we know it's not.
It was not that.
No, it's not. What was your dominant traits, Danielle?
They were 59% introvert, which a lot of people don't think that about me, but I am.
I could see
Okay,
that. Yeah.
but like this lady that I just talked to, excuse me if I called you lady and you're listening.
Is she not a lady?
Right,
I
man.
mean, she is, but I just that lady, the way it came out. I'm always working on my delivery.
Good job.
Okay,
Self-awareness.
I love
Yes,
it.
there we go.
The eye.
She was like, I cannot believe you're introvert. I had to get up and show her this.
I went and got my papers.
I got my
So-
paper and said, yes, I am 59%. But then I also am 61% intuitive.
So you're intuitive with me.
Mhm.
You're introverted with Michelle.
With Michelle.
Uh-huh.
75% feeling.
I remember that because we were feeling, and I was saying you were more than me.
I tell you, I feel everything. Let's see, prospecting, like you.
Me.
And then turbulent. And so actually my type is turbulent mediator.
My turbulent campaign.
Exactly.
I love it.
I know people are like, I know Danielle and Claudia are turbulent as hell.
If you know,
If you know, you know.
it is what it is.
Well, I think we
Yep.
all three got turbulent. That's interesting.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Leave it in the comments.
Yeah. People know it's gonna be like this.
Right.
This one
I've
time
been waiting.
at
I've
band
been
camp.
waiting. Right. I've been waiting to get on this.
Oh my goodness.
So we're gonna talk a little bit. Everybody's gonna
Yeah.
go through and give a little bit about how some of their pieces from the personality test talked about
Mhm.
the relationship portion, specifically romantic. We gonna start with romantic first, or should we start with friendship
Let
first?
me
Let's
see the
start with
order of my
friendship.
papers.
Yeah.
Friendships first.
Danielle got the papers. That's why she together.
Right. No, I know it looks crazy to y'all, but one of the reasons why I can't really see that way. Okay,
Do what you must. Okay, so we'll pull some sentences from friendship. So a couple of things in friendship for me as an architect.
What? Girl.
And some of this will be repeat. Again, if you listen to
Right.
the last episode, we went more into the friendship piece of the
Mhm.
personality test than the romance piece. So you might hear some repeating of some of the things. Architects tend to have strong opinions about what works and what doesn't, what they're looking for and what they're not. This mindset gives them a clear picture of what they expect from their social lives and their friends, and it can also lead them to reject anyone who doesn't seem to meet these expectations.
Wow.
So obviously,
I'm sorry.
From
If you
the
don't mind going
background,
back, did you say reject? Was that the word?
it was.
Oh,
It said it
okay.
can also lead them to
Right.
reject anyone who doesn't seem to meet these expectations.
Oh, okay. I was just wanted clarity.
And it means reject.
It does.
It's a harsh word. but
When
true.
you know her.
It does. It tells me I become bored by anyone who can't keep up with me.
Bored.
So
I
obviously
could
my
name.
friends,
I could name drop right now.
don't
but
name drop.
I mean, I won't. I won't.
Don't name drop. Let's see what else. Architects prize independence. Social obligations can feel stifling to people with this personality type. It's true.
It's true.
What else? An ideal friendship is low drama based on mutual respect more than obligation. Obviously, my friends over here feel like this is describing me to a T. So let me ask y'all this. How do you feel like my personality affects our relationship, whether it's positive, negative, a little bit of both, or how it makes you feel? How do I make you feel?
How do you feel? I'll let Nadia go first.
I think it's a good balance. I think we all kind of balance each other out. Here, funny thing is the you two are very similar like this, where y'all are a little hardcore. That one mouth is just a little shaky. Your face is shaky. So
Right.
it's
I
honestly exactly
What she's thinking,
Ex-
okay?
Exactly. So, and I am just sitting like, what's one to do as the campaign?
Quick example. We were texting, group chat. And we were talking about a decision we had to make. And I said, well, if you're going to do what you're going to do, don't ask me.
Yeah, I was like, it didn't need all that.
And afterwards, I was like, oh, I know they texted between each other. Like, can you believe it?
No, you called me.
I did. I called.
And I was like, I didn't even see that.
Somebody-
When I went back, I was like,
Somebody has a little bit too much dip on their chip today.
She was like, I know she was like, I don't know who she like, go ahead.
It's rough.
But no, I think it balances us out. I think it's beneficial to have, like, even though you can appear to be disconnected, you're genuinely not that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When you get to when you get to know you or whatever the case is.
Right.
So it's true
Right.
in what it says,
Make no
but
mistake.
make no mistake. It's 100% true, but there is such a deeper part of you that is so like, you read this, and in me knowing you as a friend, I'm gonna say, I will read this and I'm like, I don't know that person, that part. I did. Don't make no mistake. I knew her in the beginning, but like knowing you and who you are at your core,
Right.
I will be like, that's not Michelle.
You know what? And to your point, the end of this tells me that among friends whom they know and respect, architects have no trouble relaxing and being themselves. Architects reward their true friends with candor, insight, along with an endless supply of fascinating stories, ideas,
Aw.
and conversations.
That's so
Agree.
true.
Tell me how much you love me, Danielle.
Well, I was just gonna say, it comes off, kind of, to somebody who doesn't know you, it may be like a little harsh. But what I get from it is, my perspective is authenticity. Like, I know where I stand with you. I don't ever have to question. I know, like, if Nadia and I, we get reckless at the mouth, the sound mind that's coming in is you. And you are going to make sense of it. You are going to make sure everything's cohesive. So I really think that you are, to me, she's also a teddy bear. Like,
to those that she loves,
right? To those that if you get to that point,
if
she's loving, she's caring, she's thoughtful, extremely thoughtful, and authentic, and that's something that I value a lot.
So we love some Michelle.
They love me.
Yes, love her. And I'm telling you, I wouldn't know what to do without her. Like, when we're talking about stuff, and she's also like, she just has it together. To me,
Barely. But
and to me, I'm like, let Michelle do. She got this, okay?
okay.
No, you need to do this.
Well, speaking of, go ahead and go do yours.
I thought I was last.
Why you want to go
Oh
last?
my gosh.
Here she go with them papers.
Exactly.
Excuse me.
Flip over.
What I thought was funny about me and friendships is that it says that mediators may find themselves caught in a web of contradictions, which is so true. It says people with this personality type crave alone time, but are also vulnerable to loneliness.
Yeah.
They
Very
long to feel
contradictory.
accepted and well liked, but they hate the idea of pretending to be anyone but their authentic self.
Good. And that is you.
Right.
That is you.
And it says, while they hesitate to draw attention to themselves, they don't want to be invisible either.
Oh my God. That is so
Going over with the contradictions, but it's so spot on.
It's so odd, because then you're thinking to yourself, like, how is it this way? But then also that is so you. It's like,
Girl, I am that's right. I'm full of contradictions. I'm sorry.
But no. That's what makes you who you are.
But people, they don't know where I'm coming from. They be like,
I thought you had said. I thought you.
Right.
I changed my
changed it.
mind.
Okay, well, fine, then change it.
what else? It says friendships is a precious commodity. It says an opportunity for two people to lift each other up and change each other's lives. That's very true.
Yeah.
That's what I look for. Acquaintances may come and go, but this inner circle is likely to include mediators, friends for life. I really do. I don't have a lot of friends. But the friends
I was
have,
about to say that is so you.
Yeah.
In our just regular conversations, like, I would say everyday conversations, but in our conversations, even in our deep conversations, she's always like that. 100%. She's like, you guys know that you are like my sisters. That's her favorite thing to
And
say.
it is, because I know I could say, don't ask me then, and they may talk amongst themselves like I would with my other sister.
Right.
And then we come back and get in the car today and Kiki like,
Hey, girl.
right. And that's what I love. I need that. I need to be able to be free to be myself.
Yeah.
And I meant what I said. Okay. There was one part that I thought was interesting, because it's to your point of last time you were talking about how you like to take sabbaticals. Well, I'm very similar, and I think you are too as an introvert, but people don't realize it. They may sometimes take offense to it, but it's really just who we are. And it says, although mediators value their friendships, they also need personal space and alone time in order to recharge.
Yes.
At times, people with this personality type may withdraw from even their closest friends in order to reconnect with themselves and restore their energy, as all introverts must. These departures are usually temporary, but mediators may need to make sure that their friends don't feel snubbed by their absence.
You know what? I think that's good. I want to make sure to we'll let Nadia go, but I want to make sure that we go back and talk about how we feel, especially after taking this test, how our personality types, how do we think they affect our friendships with other people, and where we think we could do better. I think that would be something good to talk about.
For sure.
That's good. For sure.
So we'll let you go first, and then
What? Oh,
good.
Oh, okay. Well. So for mine, it says campaigners' sociable energy can be a magnet for other outgoing personality types, but their warmth and sincerity draws all sorts of people out of their shells.
In every environment, I mean, at work, what people just gravitate towards you. Yes.
Not you, because that's different. That's different. We'll leave that one alone. But FYI, I hate to toot my own horn, but toot. Because what it said is that I make life spectacular.
Of course you pulled that out.
Honestly, it says it. Now, I didn't make it up. I'm just reading what it is. I just want you to know. Just wanted to share that information. But it says, fortunately, campaigners' emotional sensitivity, y'all know I'm an emotional being, enables them to respond not only to their friends' needs, but also to their own. Once campaigners learn to balance their desire to help others with their need to stay true to themselves, they can bring the full strength of their empathy, curiosity, and joy to their friendships. And the adventures that campaigners share with their friends are the stuff that a good life is made of. That's what it says.
I don't feel like you had anything in there.
Nothing.
I mean, listen, what
Let me Google. Let me Google what it says.
What is one to do? It also said that with me, that sometimes in my friendships, what it is that I do is I don't feel like, because y'all know I'm emotional, but it says that sometimes I may not feel like other friends put in as much as I put in. And that was very interesting to me, because I have found myself say that at times, you know what I mean? Because it talks about, like, when you love hard, right? And that is so me. And that's in everything, whether it's family, any type of relationship, whether it's a intimate relationship or whatever. So because I give so much, sometimes I feel like I always have to remember, this is so important, like the whole self-awareness topic though, is that you got to realize that people aren't going to do you the way that you do you, right?
That's right.
Good.
You can't expect people. Somebody told me this once. It was a very hard lesson. You can't expect people to be like you.
Exactly. Because they're
tough.
Their own people. I've learned that. Right? 100%. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Self-awareness doesn't always mean change. Some stuff is what it is, but it's good to know.
It is 100% good to know, because one thing that I learned is that you want people to be that way, but at the same time, think about, like, just us three, right? We're three different women, grew up in three different areas, three different backgrounds, three different parents, three different lifestyles, went to three different schools, have three different experiences. All of this plays a part into who we are today. You know what I mean? So because of that, you can't treat me like I would treat you per se. We could balance it out.
Different.
Exactly. So
that's good. That's a good self-awareness point. Let me think, based on some of the things that I read about myself, one of the things the thing talks about
does it talk
is
about
not having, kind of being socially closed off, which I don't think is a bad thing. It's not something I am attempting to change, but I also want to try to be better about how I come off to people.
I like that.
I think that's important.
Yeah, because I don't want anybody to think I don't like them.
Right.
Although sometimes
It's true.
I do not like people.
You're right.
You know.
But I don't want people to be hurt by it. And I don't
Right.
think everybody is just cut it
Or
dry.
use
Like,
it against you.
yeah, like if I don't like somebody
Yeah.
didn't like me, I can't say my feelings won't be hurt, but I will move on because I have
Right.
people who love me, but
Right.
everybody's not like that. And so it's not
Exactly.
my intention for somebody to feel bad just because we don't click.
Right.
You just might not be my type of person, and I feel like that's okay. But
It
I
is
just
okay.
because I know that just kind of how I radiate
Yes.
through life, I just want to be careful that I'm not hurting people that I actually do care about, because
Yeah.
sometimes it can come off to even some of my friends like, what's going on with you? And it's just like,
You're
today
a little
just
funky.
yeah, like, and they
Right.
may not know. Like, I have to be aware of just like even with my kids. Like,
Yeah.
if I had like a social day or a social week, I have to check myself, because just because my cup is like on empty, I still just have to reevaluate and make sure how I'm presenting myself to the world is how I want to be perceived. It don't
That's
mean I'm
very
gonna like
important.
everybody,
That's
because I'm
true.
not,
You
and
don't
it's
have to like
fine.
everybody, but you're aware.
Yes,
Yeah.
I just want to be aware of how
Mhm.
I make other people
How
feel.
you come out? Okay,
Exactly.
I could dig it. I could dig
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to say? What's your jam?
The jam.
The jam.
What's some self-awareness that
I
you
was-
got from?
I was like, please don't ask me. I'm not thinking about
Yeah, some things
Well, we
from
want to know.
evaluating
I
your
think mine
friendships.
is very similar to yours. Like, even when
Is
you
this
guys,
your mouth? Is
And,
that what you want to say?
you know, and I think enough people have told me at this point
That
where
you can
I need to
believe it.
take, I need to take heed. I need to be aware of how I come across, and like I'll be like, I think what I said was fine. Like, what is the issue with it? And my sister is always reminding me it's my delivery.
Oh my gosh.
It's
so
not what I
important.
said, it's how I said it.
I had to tell Madison. Madison is my daughter, 14. I had to tell Madison that just like 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
You can say I'm a different parent. I know every parent is different and like old school, and we'll go into a parent thing. But I'm like
Right.
that parent that I want to hear what you have to say. I want to
Mhm.
hear how you feel. I want to hear you express yourself,
Yeah.
because you need to be able to express yourself. You need to have an outlet. You need to tell me how you feel, because if I don't know how you feel, I don't have a way of changing something if I need
Right.
to change it, right?
Right.
But her delivery is it's challenged. So we're working on that, and that
And Madison is here?
my daughter.
Correct.
Yeah. And who needs a lesson? Where Miss Shirley at? Where Miss Shirley at? Because I know we can
Miss
talk
Shirley
about
can't
this.
help me with that, okay? Cheryl, I'm
down.
sorry. I'm
No,
gonna get my
Miss
girl
Shirley.
Shirley.
But at
Check
least you
your
know.
mouth.
You know. But,
I do, and I
yeah.
want to apologize to anyone
Not making a
that
million.
I've hurt, with my mouth. Because, if you read The Mediator, we never intentionally mean to hurt somebody. That's not in our heart. We don't have the heart for that. But,
Sometimes
I
it
just
happens.
want to apologize.
She's trying to make amends.
Right. To anybody I've hurt with my mouth.
Right.
She's working on it. But she also meant what she said.
Correct.
Indeed.
I'll say it a little better next time.
Okay, so we talked about our friendships
We talked
and
about
halves.
that.
So now we're gonna get into
Romance.
Dum dum dum.
Ba-da-ba-da.
Now that you gonna start?
I can.
Let me flip my page.
So I had quite a bit.
There we go.
First, don't do that. So, what does that Danielle do all the time? So, mine basically said, which is so true, and y'all know me, so like I'm a romantic at heart, like
Okay.
a complete romantic at heart. It
Yes.
says that we care about love.
Mm-hmm.
This is a passionate, warm, open-hearted personality type, one that brims with hopes and dreams, ideas and experiences. Campaigners bring every ounce of this vibrant energy to their romantic relationships. And
Oh, here we go.
somebody could attest to that.
Oh.
But
Somebody say amen, okay?
Let the church say. Okay. It says, for campaigners, romantic relationships are beautiful and exhilarating, an opportunity for two souls not only to explore the world together, but also to connect on the deepest of levels. That is so important to me. Like, so what I do is, well, y'all know this because
Right.
I share like doing like different what do you call them?
Gestures.
No, well, gestures too, but like even with the 16 personalities, I do like love tests. And,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm like all into that. And the reason I'm into that is because I want to get like a deeper connection with the person that I'm dealing with.
Mhm.
That is so important to me because I love to know like what makes you happy, what makes
What's
you
your
smile.
love language?
Or oh, you know I love a love
Yes.
language, right?
I love it. I love
So
it.
like that is so like it's so true. I love to connect as deep as possible.
Mhm.
It also said optimists at heart, campaigners are undaunted by the practical challenges and inconveniences of a new partnership.
Mhm.
This might explain why they generally don't shy away from long distance relationships.
Oh,
Wow.
interesting.
It's very interesting because when I read that, I was like,
accurate.
Well, I did one of Danielle things. Tap, tap. Because
Right.
I
I'm looking at it like that. Now that.
right. So when I
On
saw that, I
point.
was like, that was so true. It says in their minds, physical distance is no match for the power of true love. Rather than focusing on potential issues, campaigners think into the joys of a relationship's honeymoon stage, constantly looking for ways to improve their dedication and delight with their partner. That's so true.
It is.
When they said long distance, I was like,
Oh,
well, what do you, interesting. So yeah, I mean,
Silence is the best.
you know, I mean, it's complicated. You already know.
you said very,
Right.
very complicated.
It's very complicated.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm a romantic at heart. So I mean, I felt like this was completely on point. I knew
think so too.
Yeah, I knew
They
some
seem
of
like
this.
relationships seem like romantic relationships
Mhm.
seem natural to you, like you just
Yeah.
flourish in them.
I love her. But listen, if I see it not flourishing, we all know it's so funny because everybody says to me, my mom used to joke with me and said, not a you change man like you change your drawers. But because
You
it's
ain't
like-
putting up with
at all,
right.
y'all know me.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm very
you do
like
not settle.
at all. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I don't like this. Okay. And it could be something, if I know it's just something that I know
Yes.
I'm not meshing well. Because if I feel like I can't connect with you
Right.
on a deeper level, I got to go. I might as well
I
go.
want everybody to know there is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I know there are some old school people out there who
Mhm.
have something to say about anything
Change
like
it,
that.
being like
you
change
know,
it all.
but it's you know what I'm saying? When it's done in that way, you are just not settling. You are not
Exactly.
willing to compromise yourself, your integrity,
Right.
your ideals for anybody.
Exactly.
I think that's amazing.
What did
Mhm.
yours say? I'll actually go to you, Danielle.
Who, me?
That's
What?
you. Not who me.
Now, I don't even have to read it. I already know. Let me tell you what it says. It says that I am a hopeless romantic.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't matter how many times I've been hurt in the past.
Mhm.
I still believe in true love.
That's me and you. We have
Yes.
that, like, and we always actually connect on that level.
we do.
We talk about it, so
because
it's
she
not a
has great
surprise.
advice when it comes to that. And she reminds me this is going to be powerful.
Oh.
And this is what your friends need to do. And this is how you know you have, really strong friendships is when they remind you of who you are
Yes.
as a person, and they help you to bring that part out of you, and Nadia does that in so many ways with me. She tells me, girl, you have forgotten who and whose you are.
Okay,
Like,
a word.
you know what I'm saying?
That's a word.
Sometimes you just gotta shake it.
Right.
It jumps you a little
Let
bit.
me
That's
remind
a gentle
you,
reminder.
activate this person
Exactly.
again, and I appreciate that because you can get I call it PTSD, from the traumas in your life that you
Yes.
have gone through in multiple relationships that haven't worked out. And you
Yeah.
start to question yourself and who
Mhm.
you are as a person. But it says here that mediators don't just want to find a partner, and that's true. They want to connect with a soulmate. That's us, right? Thoughtful and open-minded, these personalities are generally willing to consider going out with all sorts of people. Mediators pride themselves on their ability to look past a potential partner's superficial traits.
Oh, honey.
Yes.
That's Danielle.
I mean,
Look
at the baby daddy.
We're not doing this.
Okay. You know what?
Keep reading. Keep reading.
What else did I say? Let's skim past.
You got another page there. What the page say?
I
another.
Do you have another
thing.
highlighted area?
I do. It says, and the first one says, such as appearance.
God.
Social status, possessions, and focus on deeper, more meaningful signals of compatibility.
Yeah.
There was a connection. It just wasn't the appearance.
Okay. No.
Okay. What?
So Michelle, what does yours say? We want to hear this.
First of all, I
Other
feel
than
like y'all might have been pulling from a different station because mine don't say nothing
other than
good.
yours not wanting to be touched.
It don't even say that. It don't even say that. See there. Let's see. Architects care about deep.
And I was like, I read that thing where it said basically I was crazy. And remember when it said that in the beginning? Go
It
ahead.
didn't say crazy though.
It said that I'll be thinking of fairy tales and stuff. Remember
I
that?
remember that.
But that's not crazy.
Like,
That's
hold
just
on.
like I don't know what's
It's
the
just
word.
blissful.
Stigmatic.
Optimistic.
And
You know that's
Is that
my
what you took
word.
from it? I hope everybody else takes that from that episode as well. I am very optimistic.
I
You know
agree.
that's my word.
Well, optimistic.
Yes.
Ooh, you know
Be
what? We're gonna
optimistic.
talk about
Don't you be
we'll talk about
here.
later. Okay. Architects care about depth and intelligence, and they insist on honest, open communication. For them, a relationship that isn't founded on these values is hardly worth pursuing. People with this personality type are often most attractive when they are not trying to be, just by doing what they do best, pursuing the interests that light them up and can help their confidence and insight. What else to say here? I'm trying to get to the good stuff while I get to the other stuff to say. Architects can give it their all, working to maintain stability and ensure their partner's long-term satisfaction. Now, this is the part where it gets a little dicey for me as an architect. Architects might rather than getting to the core of their relationship conflicts, architects might treat them as puzzles to be solved, an approach that isn't always successful. It is not. And when their partner shares strong feelings, architects might shut down, or they may be tempted to analyze the situation rather than simply listening and offering support. Something I'm working on because everybody doesn't need a solution, and I tend to get mad when I give people solutions, and I'm like,
ma'am, if you run it back a little bit earlier, we talked about everybody. Okay, so everybody's different.
Blessings.
Yeah, it ain't none.
Yeah, everybody is different, and so but I kind of do that sometimes too. And so with myself, I'm like, they might just want to vent, and so sometimes it's just like,
you know how hard that is, though.
Yeah.
That is
They
true.
don't want it.
Sometimes I've learned though to start this self-awareness. I've learned to start when people come and talk to me, or sometimes even if I go talk to people, if I'm in a venting mode, I may say I'm just venting right now.
Right.
When I say I'm just venting right now, hear me and hear me clear.
Right.
I only want to vent. I don't want to hear your
Right.
opinion. I
Right.
don't want you getting upset with
Yeah.
me because you feel like you want to guide me here.
Right.
But if I want your opinion, I may even pose a question and say, "What do you think?" or
Right.
something like that.
Right.
And I've learned when people are coming full force, when they are like, whether it's a big problem, small problem, whatever. When you start talking, hey, what are you looking for? Are you just
what do you need?
Right.
Yeah, what do you need from me? And
Right.
that's seriously, that question is big.
Right.
Like, what do you need from me? Because if it is just venting, I know how to approach it. I know
Right.
certain things that I don't even need to say. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? But if you're
Exactly.
looking for something, I gotta hear certain things so that I could say, you sound a little dumb right there. But you know.
I can't.
I think it's good to know who you are before you get into relationships.
That is so true.
I think it's so much harder when you're trying to figure out why you're with somebody, because I
Right.
think you're constantly wondering about them.
You know my friend Brittany?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to say names? What are you about to
Yeah,
say?
I'm okay. I'm
Okay.
with this one. She made something. She said something so wise to me like years ago. She said to me, because she's married. She said, and she know I've always wanted to be married or whatever.
Yeah.
Just complications, but so.
And it may happen. Seriously,
Yeah,
you don't know when it's gonna
I believe
Yes.
I am gonna get married one day. But she would always tell me, fix yourself and know who you are first before getting married. She
Yeah.
told me, that's not something that she worked on beforehand, and it's something that she's working on while she's married. It's harder to do while you're married versus knowing your full total being, and you're not going to know yourself completely. You grow and learn every day. You know, what I like today, I may not like in 2 weeks. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm continuously evolving, as we should, but know and pay attention enough to yourself to know where you're evolving. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, she said that to me, and that just reminded me when you said that.
It's so true. It's such an important
much
part.
easier.
Oh yeah, and it's necessary. It's a necessity.
Yeah.
You cannot go into a relationship not knowing who you are and expect it to work out smoothly.
It's not. It might work out.
Okay. It might work out.
It might work out, but it's gonna definitely be a bumpy road. It's
nobody
hard.
can make you happy. Nobody's going to be able to fill any voids for you. Okay.
Right.
You got to do that yourself. You got to do the work. Okay.
Okay, y'all.
Probably abusive. I didn't know.
Really?
Which I was watching the episode. First of all, I got hooked on y'all, and I watched like 3 or 4 seasons straight.
Yeah.
And I feel, can I just say this? If you don't like Iyanla, it's because you can't handle the truth.
You can't handle
it. You cannot handle the truth.
Okay? She smack it down on that table.
Oh my God.
Now,
not on my watch.
Iyanla might need to work on her approach.
No.
I need her to say exactly
No, when she smacked that table,
boy, I was like, you hear me? She said, not on my watch. She did that.
Not on my.
Not the one she wearing.
She laughed and then she can't slap it like I want to because
I can't, exactly. I want to do it so bad, but I'll get my chance one day.
So the episode was a mom, and her whole family was there. She was married. She had 2 daughters, and the daughters basically like, I can't tell my mom anything because we don't want to make her mad. And y'all was like, well, what happens if she gets mad? And she's like, then she'll stop talking to us. She won't talk to us for days. And she brought the mom in, and she was like, they said you do this, and she's like, I do, and she's like, you're abusing them. That's emotionally abusive. And I was like, I do that to my husband. He makes me mad, and I'm like, don't talk to me. And I say, don't talk to me. Like, and he'll try to talk to me, and I'll be like, why are you talking to me?
Right.
I'm like, why? I'm not talking to you. And he'd be like, I'm just trying to ask you. I'm not talking to you. And that it doesn't make for good communication.
Yeah.
Right.
And communication is what you need, even if you have differences, even if you at the end of the day don't agree, which is completely fine. You don't have to always agree, but you need to be able to communicate. But nobody can communicate with me if I'm like,
I say
I'm not talking to you. Like, that's not a good. And I didn't see it as emotional abuse. And this is part of self-awareness. You'll find out that what you're doing is abusive. If somebody told me I'm abusing my husband or I'm abusive towards my husband, I would call them a liar.
Right.
And I don't like that word.
Yeah, like, it sounds harsh. Like, I'm like, no, I ain't. I love him.
He is my man.
That is my David. I just don't say nothing. I also had to check myself because I'm like, sometimes I don't say anything because I'm like, whatever I say is gonna go too far. So one of the things that I'm working on is that saying I can't talk to you about this right now.
Right.
Like I'm not talking, not because I don't want to talk about it, but because I'm not ready to talk about it.
And that is fair. That is fair.
And I think that's good for you to say.
That is good. That's
just
progress.
Progress.
Yes.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Let's table it for a different discussion or a different day.
Yeah. I will, and I'll go back because I'm like, the other day I was mad because.
See, here's the thing. I can pride you on going back because the one problem that I've had in the past relationship. But it would be that we couldn't communicate on certain things, and y'all know me, I'm huge on communication. Like that, I literally stress out if I can't communicate. But it would be that situation where conversations wouldn't be had. Rather it was emotions, or rather the conversation just, he wasn't ready to have the conversation, I should say. But the problem came in at where the conversation was never tabled for another day. And what I found happened with that, and what I've known would happen, and it did, is that it was a continuous sweep under the rug. And eventually that pile got so high we was tripping over it, continuously. You know what I mean? So I am proud of you by going back and saying, yesterday wasn't a good day.
Right.
However, I thought about it last night, and boom, boom, boom.
that goes back to delivery. I think
Yes.
that even whether mine's my mouth or my face, like knowing how to talk to people
Right.
will get you further. It doesn't mean you don't have to tell how you're feeling. You can, your
Mhm.
feelings are valid. You can share them with people. But if you want them to accept them, then you have to kind of watch how you
Right.
say it. That's
Right.
you know, I don't
Do.
think you're sugarcoating. You're just
And
making
you
sure
take
deliver.
away, and this is something I'm learning too, from the message that you're trying to convey. If I'm coming at you crazy in my delivery, you have lost sight of everything that I'm
Yeah.
trying to say
Brick
to you.
wall already.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
automatically a brick wall. You're not taking nothing, and you just mad at me,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Like, you're talking to me.
Not even mad at me the other day. I'm sorry. But
to apologize to all those I heard.
Right. I am
With my
on
words.
an apology day.
My apology to
But yeah, it's important to really be aware of that, because you can lose relationships that way and you don't even know it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what's scary about it.
Yeah, and I think kind of to start wrapping it up is
Yeah.
that self-awareness is not just for you to be aware, it's for you to also to work on it. And it doesn't necessarily mean you need to work on it for your friends
Right.
or your boyfriend or your future baby daddy.
Hey.
But just for
Current baby
yourself or current baby daddy. Do it for yourself, because no matter where people come in and out of your life, you want to make sure that you're good with yourself. And so you need to be aware of all your kinks, whether they
That's right.
be good or whether you realize that you're emotionally abusive.
I have a hard time with the abusive word, and I know a couple of my friends are gonna be like, "That's because you are."
Yeah, it is because you are.
Abusive
What?
with the word. But it just hits me when you say it, like
Sure.
literally in the stomach, right? But I think you're absolutely right, Michelle. You just have to be aware, and like you said, it's really not for anybody else. It's called self-awareness.
Right.
Other people bring those things to your attention. Your relationships with your friends, your family, they bring it to your attention. But like I said, it's you who has to become aware of it. And until you become aware of it, it cannot be changed.
I agree.
Okay.
That's good.
You
You've been
mean-
dropping jewels
you've been-
the
Okay,
whole
I'm in the
time.
zone.
Yes.
This little apology tour. She
I
on
know,
the
she
stage.
ready.
Until next week. Okay. Danielle says, "Do you know what she just said?"
Y'all gonna have to rewind this one back. There's a lot of good. Then y'all been dropping them. I hope y'all been catching them. I hope y'all been catching them.
I hope I've been catching them.
She probably haven't, but it's okay. But anyway, so honestly speaking, we want to thank you guys
Yes.
again for tuning in to Definition of a Woman. There's levels to this shit.
Okay. And please don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms. All of them.
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube,
Yes.
all of them have the same name, Definition of a Woman.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that you please rate the podcast wherever you are listening to it at,
Mhm.
all 5 stars. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.